Hello, and welcome to another Xton Quick Take. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about tasks, what they are, how to create them, how to associate them to either a record type or a record, and finally, how to execute them. So let's get started. So a task is a combination of two components. First is a script, and the second piece is the policy. So the script is what you want the task to do. In this case, we have an example here, which is a password reset, but it could be anything, a custom script that would reset a service, create an object, report back on group membership, any type of script, PowerShell or shell command that you want to execute against that remote connection. And then the second thing is the policy. The policy is the when. When do you want this script to be executed? Could it be on demand, like we see here? Could it be based off of a time or an event? This is the when. So you have the script, which is the what. You have the policy, which is the when. And those two combinations, or those two components together, make up what we call a task. So the first thing you want to do when you set up a task is to create your script. So to do that, you come over to our script library, which is under the administration section. You slide over and you click create. This will allow you to create the script that we will then add to the task and associate to our record. So for this demonstration, what we're going to do is a very simple script. We're going to run it against our Windows remote host. And basically, we're just going to retrieve and display a list of members of a local group on that Windows computer. So let's just enter in a quick name here. So again, we're going to look at the local admin group on this computer, and we're just going to display a list of its members. This is going to be a Windows remote. And to save some time, I'm just going to copy and paste the command right into the custom code field. We'll click save the script, and then we'll jump back to our actual record. So I'll jump back up here. This is our Windows host record type, which is just a connection into a Windows host that I've set up inside of our Xton Access Management System. And I'm going to come over here and create my task. So by selecting task, you have an option immediately for you. So you have the ability to assign this task to the actual record type, in this case was our Windows host, and then every record created from that type would automatically have this task available to it. Or what we're going to do now is we're going to make this unique. So what that's going to do is allow us to assign this task to just this record, not have any inheritance. So we make that unique. Now we have the option to add the task. Click Add Tasks. First thing you can do, again, the script is the what, the policy is the when. So we're going to select the script from the drop-down that we just created. And then we're going to then assign the event, the when. So you have your time-based, your event-based, and of course your on-demand. We're going to do on-demand here because it's the easiest to actually execute. Just click a button. So we'll check on-demand. Again, we'll click save. Our task has been saved. And now it's available as part of this record type. So very simply, we created our task, put in our script, assigned a policy which was on demand. Now we actually want to go and execute that script. So to do that, you come into your record, you come up to execute, click the drop down. This will list all the tasks that are associated to this record. It could be 1, 2, it could be 50. This will list them all. You simply select the one that you want to execute, click the button, and it immediately gets scheduled, which you can see down here in the job queue. So while this job processes in the background, let's just connect into this record so you can see what we're looking at here. We will open up local user and groups. So basically our script was very simple. It's just going to go out and give you a list of all of the users within our local administrator group. So if we switch back here, we click refresh. The queue is empty, which means that the task has been processed. We can come over to job history. You can see what took place. So this was processed now, a few moments ago, and it has completed successfully. We go into details, and it'll list the results. Basically, the response from the script is displayed here inside of the job details. So you can see all 12 of those users that are a member of our local administrator group have been displayed here. So that's a very specific case where you're going to say execute this task, which contains a script which gives you back a very specific response. This group, I want to see these members. But what if you want to provide the end user the ability to be a little bit more dynamic? Maybe you want them to be able to return the results of a local group, but you don't know what local group they're interested in. So you can do that with the script as well using variables. So for example, if we jump back to our script here, you can see very explicitly we said administrators group. But I don't know what the user is going to want, so rather than saying administrator group, let's just put in here a variable, and we'll call it group name. So we're going to save this. Well, let's change it as well. So it's not going to be local admin group, it's just going to be local group, because we don't know what group they're going to want to see the membership of. So we'll change the name and we'll put in a variable there. We'll click save. The script was saved. Now we can come back here, do a refresh, and you'll see now that the task associated to it is the one that we just modified, which was the local group members. So now when they come in here and execute that script, it's going to ask them for that parameter. So we put in a variable called group name. So now the user who's executing this task needs to specify the group name in which they want to see the membership of. So let's just use the default local users group, and we'll execute that same script. So the job has been scheduled. You can see it's down here in the job queue, processing in the background. While that goes on, let's come over to our local users group, open that up, and you'll see that there's just 5 members here. Typical what you would see inside of a pretty basic Windows environment. Still processing in the background there. Click refresh, and now you can see that it's completed. So if we come into details now, what we should see is the same thing as what we see over in Windows. It's those 5 users that are a member of that default local users group. So you can see there that the user, when they executed the command, specified the group name. That group name was then put into the script that was executed with the task, and the results were brought back to the user.